Sports Central presents Never Give Up, a spotlight on Southern California's sports spirit.
Welcome to Never Give Up, presented by Sports Central. A look at the intersection of sports and community across Southern California. So let's start with an Orange County native turned World Series champion. When his team needed him most, Freddie Freeman was there for his teammates, hitting an iconic grand slam and winning World Series MVP. When his family needed him most, Freeman was also there, both as a husband and a father. Let's take a look back at Freeman's emotional journey from hospital room to baseball legend.
Freddie Freeman, it's all yours.
Freddie Freeman is a World Series MVP, but this season has been anything but easy for the Dodgers star. In late July, Freddie's 3-year-old son, Max, was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a condition which the body's immune system attacks its nerves.
Obviously, other things taking precedence for Freddie Freeman tonight.
Max spent 8 days in pediatric intensive care. During that time, Freeman was with Max and not with the Dodgers. After 10 days away, when Freddie rejoined the team, he was moved to tears when he saw T-shirts with Max Strong on them.
Terrible syndrome, Guillain-Barré.
Freeman would wear Max Strong across his chest for the rest of the regular season, but he would face another challenge before the postseason.
What a pick by Jake Cronenworth. A wide throw and a tag from Arise to get a stumbling Freddie Freeman. You hold your breath until he gets to his feet.
Take a step back, it's a baseball game. I don't really draw any comparisons, but when you see, like today he had PT before I got here, and you know, he's walking everywhere, but not walking normal yet, but he's on his way. So when you see him doing exercises of balancing and stuff like he was doing today, you look down, you see a little swollen ankle, I'm like, all right, yeah, it's not that bad, is it, you know?
So just like his son Max, he too remained strong.
Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie!
Freeman would hit the first walk-off grand slam in World Series history.
Those are the kind of things when you're 5 years old with your 2 older brothers and you're playing football in the backyard, and those are the scenarios you kind of dream about.
I was so excited. I just couldn't believe that was my son. And so proud, so excited.
Not too many superstars are grind the way that Freddie does, and you know, he's just a Hall of Famer that you know, this is a pretty special moment in his career.
But Freddie wasn't done.
That grand slam. Launches this ball right field. He's found the seats again. It is a fastball. It's ripped down the line. It is gone. Freeman cracks one deep to right field. And gone again. Freddie Freeman floating in the World Series.
Freeman would hit a home run in 6 straight World Series games dating back to 2021, a Major League Baseball record.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And ultimately, winning the World Series despite all the challenges the Freeman family had to overcome.
It's been a grind these last 3 months, but this organization, Stan, Andrew, Brandon, Doc, my teammates, my family, it's been a lot, and this is it right here. Not this, that one. That's what it's about.
Man, what an amazing story that was. All right, now Davey Jags is a former Division I student athlete running cross country at Xavier University, but she is much more than just a runner, you guys. Davey is a storyteller, an advocate, and a survivor. Here's Jamie Maggio with more on how she's not only reclaiming her passion of running, but dedicating her life to trying to help others.
Davey, when did you start running? When did you realize this was something that you loved?
I would say I was 14. I didn't know that I was going to love it. I actually kind of resisted it for a long time. My father was a runner, and I do a lot of things that I try not to be like him, but I'm exactly like him. But it was 14 years old is when I fell in love with running.
They talk about that runner's high. I'm not a runner, so I don't know what that feels like. But what is that runner's high that people describe?
It's addicting. I mean, it's a legitimate high. There's a certain point where you get this, it's not even like this intoxicating adrenaline, it's just this euphoria. And it makes you feel valuable. And I think a lot of runners chase that over and over again.
So this passion that you find, now it's opening doors to take you to the college level and get that higher education. What happened during your college career that took that from you?
Yeah, so like actually in high school, I developed an addiction to that feeling that led me to get 3 stress fractures all at once in my hip, femur, and groin, to the point where I almost lost circulation in my left leg. And I could never really get my body back, and then that's when, going into my sophomore year, I actually experienced sexual violence, and that was the complete loss in my mind of my body, and that's a really scary thing.
Davey eventually quit the team at Xavier and walked away from the sport of running. Davey's experiences at college led her to her next path in life as an entrepreneur, writer, and activist for Title IX and mental health.
I didn't need to have to experience what happened to me to be an advocate. I was always someone that was very outspoken, but through grief, I think I was able to touch into a part of myself that was always there and use what I had left to help others, but ultimately help myself.
Davey's work includes raising awareness about athletes and mental health, including a series with NBA star DeMar DeRozan. And as fate would have it, Davey's advocacy has brought her life full circle, and she's currently training for the Chicago Marathon.
I had the opportunity to join the Army of Survivors, which is an organization that does education, awareness, and policy reform for athletes who have experienced violence. Yeah, I became a board director with them, and they had open bids under their charity bids to run the Chicago Marathon, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a sign that I need to do this. Like, you know, no one was forcing me, but I didn't feel like I got the kind of closure that I originally wanted when I walked away for the team.
What does this marathon represent to you?
It represents having a healthy relationship with running again, and it represents helping other athletes, especially women who tend to drop out of their sport sooner than men, that they don't have to.
As a teenager running in the Rocky Mountains, Davey coined the term sparkle to help her remind herself to keep pushing.
Your sparkle is your happiness, passion, and self-worth, and your friends, your family, your creative pursuits, your sport, your career, they can all make up that sparkle. And I can't live authentically and shine brightly if I am not at least finishing this chapter on my terms.
What an amazing story by Davey Jags. All right, now let me tell you a story about Ron Jenkins. The Los Angeles native was a standout wide receiver at Fresno State before spending the next 30 years helping troubled youth. Now he's back in football, laying the foundation for the next generation. Chris Hayrie has more.
Be strong, let's go, be strong.
Ron Jenkins is an assistant football coach at Los Angeles Southwest College.
Let's go, good, push it.
It's the latest step in an incredible journey that started with tragedy.
Well, my mom passed away when I was just 2 years old. Bounced around the foster care system a little while, and then I was eventually adopted into a home where there were other kids as well. It was a situation that started out good, but then it turned when the person who adopted us decided to take the monies that was being given to us by the county for our well-being and use it to buy drugs and sell drugs to make more money. I had 4 brothers killed before I was 23 years old.
After a tough childhood, Ron started playing football in high school, falling in love with the game.
Football is an avenue that a lot of people want to take to maybe get out of trouble. How did you get to Fresno State, and what was that experience like?
Well, I didn't start playing football until I was in the 10th grade. I was new at it, so I wasn't very good. It was a survival for me. Sports is a great way to relieve pressure, to relieve stress, you know, to allow you to get away from those things that may have a negative impact on your life. I got better at it. 4 years later, I was being offered a football scholarship to Fresno State. It proved to be a turning point for me as well.
Ron was among the best receivers in the nation during his senior year.
I worked out and did some things that needed to be done by going to the strength coach, the track coach, and asking these guys, hey, what is it that I need to do to be a better player? Being an advocate for myself.
But it's what he learned off the field that left a lasting impact.
You found out who you were.
Right.
And who you are is someone who wants to help others.
Right.
Who wants to help others who may have been in a situation similar to you. When did that light bulb come on that this is what I'm meant to do?
Probably while I was in college, when there was time for me to decide what I wanted to do as a man, which way I wanted my life to be. I thought back to my childhood, being in foster care, and I thought back to those social workers and those people who were instrumental in helping me change my life. So I majored in social work. I worked as a counselor at Fresno County Juvenile Hall. I understood the situations that those kids came out of.
Across the next 30 years, Ron worked a variety of roles in youth corrections, helping kids like Carissa Phelps.
I was 13 and I was locked up in juvenile hall, and he was a young counselor in juvenile hall who had his NFL dreams sort of crushed, but he didn't come in crushed.
She had been forced out of her home because of some unfortunate circumstances, and she took to the streets. And from that experience, she was forced into human trafficking.
When I responded to his coaching, really, to his influence, to his positivity, he gave me more assignments to do to grow.
With Ron's belief, Carissa got her life on track, eventually graduating from Fresno State, completing an MBA and law degree at UCLA, while becoming an author and leader in the anti-human trafficking movement. Where do you think you would be if Ron didn't show up in your life?
Prison or dead. Not in law school, not in business school, not helping other survivors or building platforms for people to speak out against trafficking, but I would be not here, not with us.
My mother, who I told you had passed away at 2 years old, she was involved in some trafficking. And I guarantee you, my mother was speaking to me from her grave. Good job, fourth quarter, let's go.
Now retired from corrections, Ron is back on the gridiron, still looking to make an impact on future generations.
We have young men on this team that come out of the foster care system. We have some men on this team that are homeless. And those are the guys that I like to focus on. Those are the guys that I like to have conversation with. Those are the guys that I like to get my hands on and talk to them and just give them power in their stories.
It was a shock to me that he was so quick to like open up and be vulnerable in front of me, but that really, I feel like that boosted our relationship a lot, because he kind of like showed me without telling me that it's okay to like express how you're feeling, and it's okay to come from something that's not really the best opportunity into becoming a great person.
They will forget the plays. They'll forget the scores of the games. They'll never forget how you made them feel, how you took care of them. You talk about Ron, the kids will always look back like he never exploited my athletic talent. He actually tried to mentor me and help me in the classroom, help me off the field.
What wise words would you share with somebody who may be going through a similar situation that you did or other kids in South Central Los Angeles do?
The first thing I want to say is, don't let the negative things that happened to you in your past force you to not trust people. You need people in this life. And through trusting in people, you'll understand that there are people out here who can provide you resources that can get you to the next step in your life. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. With your story, there's somebody out there waiting to hear you.
All right, so let's keep it real. Just like Ron Jenkins, most coaches are like father figures. They teach discipline, commitment, and character, but their role as a father figure doesn't end when the game is over, you guys. This is Darren Rizzy, interim head coach of the New Orleans Saints. He was my college head football coach, and this guy still preaches to me about work ethic and having a positive mental attitude about everything. If Coach Rizzy wasn't there for me, I would have never gotten into broadcasting. Shoot, I'm here because of a coach I looked up to like a dad, just like Ron Jenkins. But what makes Coach Jenkins' story even more impressive, he was raised without a father figure, but his life experiences made him the perfect father for the kids in his life now. Ron Jenkins is a hero, and that's keeping it real. All right, up next, it's the season of giving. Find out how the Purple and Gold are giving back to the local community this holiday season. Plus, how the parents of Braden Hink are keeping his legacy alive through his love of basketball. When Never Give Up continues. Welcome back to Never Give Up. Since 2000, the Lakers' season of giving has assisted thousands of families in Los Angeles during the holiday season. They tipped off this year's community efforts with a carnival and Thanksgiving feast at the team's training facility for 100 students from Crate Academy in South Central Los Angeles, which serves students experiencing homelessness and living in poverty. Jake and Stephanie Hink have found their strength despite living every parent's worst nightmare. Their 11-year-old son, Braden, died of cancer back in May. Chris Hayrie has more on their story and how they are using Braden's love of basketball to help make a difference for other families.
Braden was a very outgoing, happy kid. His nickname in all of his basketball teams was Smiley.
He played everything: soccer, flag football, baseball when he was younger, but loved basketball. Basketball was his sport.
While Braden was in the 4th grade, he started having health issues that eventually led to doctors finding a brain tumor.
Originally, we thought it was a low-grade tumor. We thought it was something he would just live with, and then we found out in November of 22 that it had changed and it had what they believe turned into high grade, which is cancer.
We went from everyone being convinced it was benign and something to monitor about the size of a grape to getting a phone call shortly after an MRI.
Yeah.
And saying, we need to schedule surgery for like next week, Wednesday.
And then surgery was followed by, he had 30 rounds of radiation and then was on oral chemotherapy.
His attitude during this entire process, how would you describe it?
You know, he handled everything in stride. He was never complained. I mean, it was not a pleasant experience, especially for any child. It just took its toll on him. But he was never upset, never complaining. He had a positive attitude through it all.
Yeah.
All the way, you know, till the end. Yeah.
Braden died on May 28, 2024, 2 weeks before his 12th birthday.
How would you even describe this year?
Every parent's worst nightmare. I mean, that's what it is. I think we're doing the best we can. Really taking it day by day, and starting this foundation, trying to do things to help others, has been a really good outlet for us.
Jake and Stephanie started the Braden Cole Hink Foundation with the mission to raise research funds for pediatric brain cancer and assist families of children undergoing cancer treatment.
We were sharing a room and you can hear everything, and we overheard it was a single mom and the son was in there because they had just found a brain tumor. And so we ended up talking to her because we're like, we just went through this, and we could overhear her talking to her boss saying, okay, well, he's having surgery on Saturday. I'll be back by Wednesday. I'll make sure I'm back working by Wednesday. And Jake and I Jake and I both were always there. And we looked at each other and we're like, she's not going back on Wednesday. She has no idea. Very rarely did you see two parents that were able to be with their kids. And sometimes it was just the child. There would be There would be kids that would be in the playroom with nurses, and the nurses were in charge of them because the parents had to go to work that day. And so these little kids had nobody with them in the hospital that day.
Inspired by Braden's love of basketball, the foundation held their inaugural Hoops for a Cure Swish-a-thon at the Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks.
It has been overwhelming. We had 215 signed up coming into today, and then I think we've had maybe 40 or 50 that have just walked in, and we're going to cut it off within we can't add any more for the Switch-a-thon, but it's been amazing. It's so incredible.
What are the emotions just looking at this?
Pretty blown away, honestly. We had expected a decent turnout, but nothing like this. This is above and beyond what we expected. And I think it's showing in the donations. We've seen a huge uptick in some of the fundraising and so forth. We sell merchandise. I mean, it's been amazing.
Lakers great AC Green, a family friend, served as the event's MC.
Supported my man Braden because, as he would say, Uncle AC always has his back, but I know he always had mine. So thank you again for being here, everybody.
It's an honor. Braden is a person that just loved life to the fullest, and being here to celebrate not only his memory but also kicking off a foundation that would, be part of his legacy. I'm honored to be asked to do it.
According to the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation, only 4% of federal research funds goes towards pediatric cancer.
There isn't that research. It just doesn't exist because there's not the funds for it. So the majority of it is supported by organizations like this, by these small foundations that can raise money, and it's really, really important so that we can further the research for pediatric cancer.
Here's a way we can help. At the end of the day, here's a way we can help. Here's a way we can, as we look forward, where we can play a part, and brain cancer's, it's an opponent that I don't like to go up against, but we're going to fight.
What do you think Braden would say right now, looking at all these people here for him?
I think he would really like all the attention, all the love coming from everyone, and he loved basketball, so he would really enjoy this. Such a special treat that I know that Braden's Foundation is getting money and other kids are getting treatment.
It's hard to believe that this is the inaugural event.
I do wonder how we could get more people in here. But if this is our inaugural event turnout, it's pretty promising. We hope we can improve it and make it even bigger and better next year.
This is totally his dream. This is his thing, 1,000%. So he would be in heaven just running around between all these courts. He would love nothing more than this.
The Braden Cole Hink Foundation raised more than $57,000 with the event. Now, you can go to fightforbraden.org to learn more about the work Jake and Stephanie are doing to honor Braden's legacy. All right, still to come. The Chargers are always looking to make a difference in the community, from helping veterans to encouraging students. We'll check out what the Bolts have been up to when we come back. Welcome back to Never Give Up. Since 2020, the Chargers Pup program follows dogs going through service animal training before they graduate and move on to help those who need them. This year's pup, as voted by the fans, so cute, is named Storm. Now, the Chargers are always looking to make a difference off the field, including the Bolts Book Club, a program designed to inspire love for reading and increase literacy rates in children. Jim Hill went to check out a stop at Century Park Elementary School in Inglewood.
First, I want to introduce to you Mr. Jim Hill.
Everybody say ho! Ho!
We not only are showing young children about who we are as young adults, but we're also helping to demonstrate that they get to be able to connect school with community with reading.
Bright-colored roller coasters and waves that shine. Montañas rusas de colores brillantes y olas radiantes.
We're so thrilled to be able to be here with our partners, Verizon, and also be here with our first graders to be able to enjoy this incredible day with scholastics.
I want you to study real hard, okay? So you can grow up to be great leaders of our country. We need to have more people like you young folks to get the best education you can. Will you look at this? Look, start over here. How many books can they get?
3 books.
Okay, you get 3 books, okay?
Over 3,000 books are distributed, and today we provided also different books that were made available through our bilingual, bicultural publishers, Little Libros, in 2 languages.
What do you say? Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Doesn't matter if you only speak one. Well, we get to be able to express ourselves, our community, our culture, thanks to LA Chargers.
Go Chargers! Tell me how you like this day.
I wanted to Chargers come, and I wanted to pick this book, my favorite, and I got some at home.
You want to thank the Chargers for doing this so you can get a lot of good books?
Thank you, Chargers.
Now, November is Salute to Service Month in the NFL, and the Chargers are doing what they can do to honor all those veterans. The team renovated a garden oasis and tech center for the Bridge Housing Women's Program, which aims to help veteran women on their journey towards stability. I went to check it out.
3, 2, 1.
I like it. I like it.
Bridge Housing Women's Program helps women transition out of homelessness and empowers veteran women on their journey towards stability and independence.
Beautiful.
There to help showcase the upgrades, Chargers Trey Pipkins and Denzel Perryman. What was the one that stood out the most for you?
I think the tech space stood out the most for sure. I mean, the ambiance of that room was crazy. They had the lights all done up, man. The computers were in there, comfy chairs. It just seemed like a real cool spot for them to hang out and do whatever they need to do in a safe spot. So it seemed really cool.
One small positive thought each morning can change your whole day. I like that.
For me, what caught my attention and what made me like that room is just like the lighting that they had in there, like the different lighting. And they had a chair that was in the corner that was real comfortable. You put your feet up, relax a little bit.
The Chargers players also fed those living in the community.
Man, we back here, we ready to go. Chargers in the community. We serving some good food, some good plates.
It felt good. It felt good that, you know, that they have their spirit so freely like that, and that they get involved and they help people, and they're doing it with their heart. They are. They really are.
It's hard to put it into words. It's just so cool being out here and seeing how much it means to them. Like, makes you really feel like makes you really appreciative for everything they've done for us and everything that we can do to give back to them, man. It's really cool.
I think I'm very touched by it.
Yeah.
Because they're giving up their time to come and serve us.
How's the food? They served it for you? Is
They
the food
served
they had,
it for me.
it was
The
good?
food is amazing. And the peach cobbler, bang,
The peach cobbler was good.
Yes.
Denzel Perryman.
Yes.
Okay, this for my grandbaby, that's all.
What does it mean to you to see them wanting to take pictures with you, but you're also giving back?
Man, it means a lot, man. I'm pretty sure I just made somebody's day, maybe one or more people today, but just being able to give back, doing things like this, have an opportunity to, you know, see smiles and the appreciation of, you know, the vets and, you know, the people that were in there. It's very heartwarming.
All right, so I have one word for the Chargers, and that is selfless. The Chargers' selfless acts are making a positive impact on the community. You saw what I just saw. They had the hairnet on, the gloves, handing out food, not just showing up for a photo op. So listen, an average NFL player practices and works out usually 2 to 4 hours a day, 1 to 2 hours of meetings, 1 to 2 hours of weight room or exercising, and another 1 to 2 hours of film review or playbook study. In layman terms, people, these guys are busy. But despite their busy schedule, the Chargers are out in the community empowering the youth, creating opportunity in under-resourced neighborhoods, and making someone's dream today become a reality tomorrow. It takes a selfless person to commit to that, and that's who the Chargers are, and that's why selfless is my one word. All right, up next, Cliff Meidel shares his journey from near-death experience to flag bearer at the Olympics. Welcome back. It was quite the year for USC freshman Ezra Freck. He won 2 gold medals at the Paralympics this summer, first in the 100-meter sprint and then in the men's high jump, setting a Paralympics record. Freck is the inaugural recipient of the Amir Ekbatani Paralympic Scholarship Award to a Paralympian attending USC or UCLA. Now, one of the greatest honors for any athlete in any sport is to be named the flag bearer at the Olympics. It's a list full of inspirational stories, including South Bay's own Cliff Meidel, who shared his journey with Jamie Maggio.
Cliff Meidel was an American speed kayaker competing in 2 Olympics, including the 2000 Games when he was honored as the United States flag bearer.
I remember standing there at first when I was ready to walk into the stadium and looking over my shoulder, and the only thing I could see was a sea of red, white, and blue. It was the entire United States delegation behind me.
Probably the greatest honor an athlete can have is wearing the red, white, and blue and representing your country, but then to actually hold the flag has to be something completely different.
You know, when I found out, I was overwhelmed by joy and everything, and then walking into the opening ceremonies, you know, here I was carrying the flag, and I remember standing there, and there was a lady that was saying, "Okay, Cliff, get ready, Team USA," and I was about maybe 20 feet ahead of all the athletes, and I was so nervous. I was so proud to be in that position and have that opportunity, and I'm so proud to be able to be an American representing my country.
But Cliff's Olympic dreams almost didn't come true. At the age of 20, Cliff nearly died.
What happened with the accident? How did it happen?
So I was working on a construction site, and I ended up jackhammering into some power lines, and I received a severe electrical shock. And I had massive exit wounds on my back of the head, toes, but most of the damage was to both my left and right knee compartments. I had about a third of the knee bone burned away. So initially I ended up having a cardiac arrest, and I was able to overcome that. Amputation had kind of circled around. It was a big topic of conversation, and of course my mother was at the helm at the time, and when she heard the news that they were going to do an amputation, she was very persistent on meeting my lifesaver, Dr. Malcolm Lesevoy at UCLA, and he came into the picture and was able to design a process where we were hoping at the time that I'd be able to save the legs.
What was the process?
Well, I had a big gaping holes on both left and right knee compartments, so essentially you just can't cover those areas with skin. So Dr. Lesevoy was able to take my calf muscles and basically disconnect them and flop them up on top of my knees, and he saved my legs from amputation doing that.
While there was a solution to help Cliff physically, he still had plenty of work to do mentally.
And ultimately, Dr. Lesevoy noticed that, I was becoming depressed and all of that, and he approached me and he said, listen, Cliff, I've done my 50%. It's time for you to drive up that rest of the equation. And basically what he was talking about is that he did the medical portion of it. Now it was up to me to drive up the will, the determination, and the belief that you can actually get through a difficulty and adversity. A lot of times, when we go through hardship, we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we have to believe in the hope. And he really lit that flame of hope in my heart that just maybe I might be able to walk again, and he kind of set that in stone.
Part of that process included Cliff finding an outlet for his athletic and competitive nature.
How did you first find yourself in a kayak?
I couldn't run anymore and do sports, but I needed a venue to go to. I needed a place of acceptance, a place of belonging. My brother Norman got me involved back paddling outrigger canoes in Redondo Beach, which was, one of the most incredible places to go. I was a guppy. I didn't really know how to paddle very well, but I learned and I befriended other people and I got involved in a process. And ultimately that sense of belonging really allowed me to channel that fuel that I needed to get through that adversity. Seeing people like Greg Barton, a famous U.S. Olympic athlete, that had adversities himself, and overcame and became an Olympic champion, and you get inspired by that. And that's how I kind of got involved in Olympic sprint kayaking. I have all the signatures of the firefighters that have saved my life.
Now Cliff shares his story as a motivational speaker.
What are you hoping to accomplish when you share your story and your journey?
Don't compare yourself against other people, right? You don't want to do that. You want to be the best that you can be, and you want to be able to get through this adversity and find out what makes you tick and what are your skill sets that can make you better than you are today and make you springboard to further success. And I always like to inspire people out there to be the best that they can be and believe in yourself and have the hope that you can get through it no matter how difficult the hardship is.
Still to come, how one high school kicker is a star on the field, in the classroom, and in the community, helping raise money to fight cancer. We'll introduce you to Ashton Zamani when Never Give Up continues.
Sports Central presents Never Give Up, a spotlight on Southern California's sports spirit.
Southern California is home to some of the best high school football players in the country, but many of them are also just as talented off the field. Sierra Canyon kicker Ashton Zamani plays football and soccer and is a star in the classroom as well. But what's more impressive is that Ashton is also finding a way to help fight cancer. Jamie's back with more.
Jeez, Ashton? Easy.
I saw a video of you online hitting a 52-yarder.
Yeah, that 52, it wasn't in game, but I've hit 52 in practice with live op, everything. So I'm very confident that I can hit the 50 range, high 50s. I'm just waiting for my chance.
Ashton Zamani is a master at his craft. The senior at Sierra Canyon is the third-ranked kicker in California. He trains and works out roughly 20 hours a week, and Ashton also maintains a 4.4 GPA.
And we have students who excel at the highest of levels in sports, in arts, in academics. For a student who can do multiple things at the highest level is absolutely so impressive. He's just a really high achieving kid, and everything he does, he wants to do with his full heart.
Coach, what makes Ashton special?
You know, Ashton's just a great kid. As a kicker, a lot of times you don't see him as much. You know, they have their specialty and they just are kind of off on the side doing their thing. But Ashton's one of those kids, he's been in every weight room. He works just as hard as any football player on our team. And there's something really unique about Ashton. He's just a great kid.
You're a verbal commit to UCLA.
Yep.
You grew up here in Southern California. To be able to play at a local school and have your family go to all the games, like, what would that mean to you?
It means so much. I'm so thankful for the opportunity UCLA has given me. Get to go to school here in LA, get to see my family, my little sister all the time. They get to come out to all the games, especially my dad. I can't remember the last time he hasn't come to my games, whether it's football or soccer or anything. So I know it's super special for him to see me.
In addition to his accolades on the field and in the classroom, Ashton wanted to do more. So he started a nonprofit called Kick Away Cancer, supporting a cause that has personal meaning to him. Both of his grandmothers are cancer survivors.
I created it just to spread the awareness and help others. I was sending emails, text messages to just contacts that my dad, my mom knew, our neighbors, just people around the area. And I ended up getting 32 donors.
During the football season, Ashton is raising money for the American Cancer Society with every PAT, field goal, or kickoff touchback he makes for the Trailblazers.
We're 7 games into the season right now, and we're raising around $20,000, but yeah, our goal is $50,000, so as soon as we move into playoffs, hopefully we can meet that goal and maybe get to $60,000 if that's even possible.
When you step up and you're about to kick, are you thinking about, like, oh, I better nail this long field goal? Or
before the game, I always remind myself of, you know, the purpose. You know, obviously I need to make field goals for our team to win, but in the back of my mind, it's also for these children, these families that need the help.
How proud are your grandmothers of you for doing this?
They're so proud, yeah, to be able to see them after I hit a field goal, after I hit a kickoff, look in the stands and see them. So it's truly special to me.
Well, you know, at Sierra Canyon, we're very fortunate. We get really great kids that are, you know, about more than just being a football player, and Ashton's no exception to that. So I think this is incredible that he's doing something like this and found a way to make an impact.
Being able to do this with Kick Away Cancer right now, it's super special, and I know it means a lot to my parents too, having both of their parents having cancer and me being able to help them and other families around too.
All right, still to come, former Galaxy star AJ DeLaGarza honors his late son every year with a blood drive, why this year's event in Redondo Beach was extra special. Plus, tennis legend and social justice advocate Billie Jean King gets immortalized on the campus of Cal State Los Angeles. She's one of the great icons in the history of women's sports and also a native of Southern California. Billie Jean King began her rise in tennis as a student at Cal State LA, and she recently was immortalized by the school in a very special way. Jim Hill was there for all the pageantry.
How cool a day is this for you? How cool is this?
It's unbelievable to be honored here at Cal State LA. Well, it's not even Cal State LA anymore. It used to be when I went there in the 60s. Now we're a university. We weren't even a university back in the 60s, so it's always great to come back. I mean, I've been back before, but, you know, with just all the ceremony, meeting all the athletes, at least seeing them. I didn't get to meet everyone. I wish I could. I don't know, it's really special. It takes you back, but it also makes me think forward because of it. Because I'm always thinking, I always have done that. I always appreciate the past and these people. And these kids are so cute. I mean, these athletes have a platform that they probably hadn't thought about too much yet. They're young, and it's so important that they understand what they have and how they can use it to make the world a better place. But, you know, for themselves, their families, for others, for their country, you never know. You just never know. I always wish I had lived long enough to see all of their lives and where they end up. And, you know, maybe someone's the President of the United States there. Who knows? I don't know.
And for all of Billie Jean's incredible accomplishments throughout her life, this honor from her alma mater definitely hits a little bit different.
It means almost everything because it's like a culmination. And Brian Hanlon, the sculptor, you know, they think of him. He does a lot of sports, and that was special. I don't know. It's just there's a sense of permanency to that statue, which is fantastic. But I think it's really the community, seeing everyone, seeing people I hadn't seen for years. It's the connection. It's the love and kindness that everybody shows. And I'll take that with me forever, and I'll be coming back. As you know, I've signed up again to finish my degree. I haven't finished. And, you know, I'm 80 years old, so it's never too late, Jim.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, no, I said, I usually finish whatever I start. I try to. And I said, but I haven't finished my education. So I think that's the least I can do is try to finish.
Wow, Billie Jean King, what an icon. All right. In 2014, the LA Galaxy would win their record 5th MLS Cup championship. But during that season, the unthinkable happened to one of their key players. AJ DeLaGarza lost his infant son to a rare heart defect. Even though AJ has moved on to the East Coast, he still holds an annual blood drive to benefit Children's Hospital Los Angeles, where his son Luca was treated. Jamie caught up with the former Galaxy star.
How rewarding has it been for you to honor Luca this way?
Our ultimate goal is to keep his name alive, and we started this to help other kids that need some help, need some blood, need someone else to step in and kind of save their life. And if we can help in any kind of way, you know, that's what we're trying to do.
Every August, former Galaxy defender AJ DeLaGarza and his wife Megan host the Luca Knows Heart annual blood drive, benefiting Children's Hospital Los Angeles in honor of their son, Luca, who passed away in 2014, just a week after being born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. This year's event was a special one, celebrating Luca's 10th birthday.
It's amazing the amount of signups we've had. This is obviously coming up on his 10th birthday, and we have the biggest and blood drive that we've had yet. So this is just amazing for these young kids.
It's a nice feeling to know that whatever I'm doing here on just in a nice sunny afternoon is going to impact somebody when they really need it at a tough time in their lives. So yeah, it's a great feeling.
Looked into it, saw it, realized how close it was. I just wanted to come out and help, you know.
To hear that he and his wife had went through that, and then he still put on that face to go out and play for the fans was a huge deal. I didn't know that the blood drive was a thing until this year, and it hits a little closer to home because me and my wife just welcomed twins. But I wanted to do my part to donate some blood, hopefully help some kids.
You know, the Galaxy fans always show up, so it's amazing to see.
Let's go back to that moment in time and what you remember about the game leading up to Luca's birth and then after.
Yeah, I know leading up to that, my team wanted to do something special. I remember Omar Gonzalez scored a goal, had the Luca Knows Heart logo on his shirt, and then also got an assist in that game to Baggio, and Baggio had the same thing. He had a Luca Knows Heart logo, lifted his shirt up and gave me a hug. And I think that was just a camaraderie that we had that year in 2014. It ended with the MLS Cup.
The 2014 team still shares a strong bond, and during our interview, AJ got a FaceTime call from Omar.
Still had the mic on and you called.
I'm sending you a bunch of love, and I'm happy that the blood drive is going well. And hit me up later. When you think back to how that fan base embraced you guys as you were going through probably the most difficult thing you've ever gone through in your life, how does it make you feel when you think back?
I mean, I think that's a reason why we kept going and why we were so positive was the support that we had. The players, the staff, the fans all made that happen. That just tells you like how special the bond is that we had with those Galaxy years when I was here, and yeah, it's just amazing to see that.
Wow, what a way to honor their son. We'll be back for my last call when Never Give Up returns after this. Now it's time for my last call. This is why sports is so great. We had a hero who won MVP, another who overcame life obstacles to live out his dream. I mean, there were acts of selflessness and inspiring moments. The truth is, sports is much closer to the reality of life. Sports showcases the very best within us, reminds us of our limitations, but also shows us how to overcome them and win. That's why no matter what you're going through, the challenges you may face, the unforeseen obstacles you may need to overcome, just like the name of this show, you guys, never give up. That's my last call. I'm Darren Haynes. Love somebody, hug somebody, because tomorrow isn't promised. I'm out.